So good morning, everyone. We begin with chanting universal well-being. May I abiding well-being in freedom from affliction, hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abiding well-being in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings release from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained when they act upon intention. All beings are the owners of their action, and it inherits its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and results will be their home. All actions with intention, whether skillful or harmful, of such acts will be the heirs. So we continue reading the bowing journals and letters from the pilgrimage done by Reverend Henk Shur, Marty, Verhoeven, Master Henk Chow. And today is the entry from the Master Henk Chow, April 15, 1978. The title is Only the Sound of Changing Tides. Start with the quote from Lao Tzu. The practice of the Tao consists in subtracting day by day, subtracting and yet again subtracting. Subtraction. Outside the road is more narrow, people fewer, towns smaller. There are less lights at night, more stillness during the day. Deer and squirrels outnumber diesel rings. Seagulls and hawks are louder than jets and police sirens. No more rush hour, roar twice daily. Only the sound of the changing tides reach our ears. Inside, the bowing and sutra burn through our pretensions and masks. There are fewer places to hide and escape. More contentment with less comical things. We feel like the click-clacking pebbles, ground and polished by the pounding surf. Smaller and smaller, less edges, more solid. Subtracting day by day. Softness overcomes hardness. Weakness, the strong. Winter is taking itself away. It's spring and all things renew. Layperson. Well, the rainy season is over with at last. This is for sure. Yesterday and today it rained non-stop. The winds were so strong they blew us off our feet. Nothing's for sure. The weather constantly speaks the dharma of impermanence and non-reliance. And this ends up with the quote from the 10 Grounds chapter. The Bodhisattva contemplates all conditions dharma as they really are. They are impermanent, suffering, impure and insecure, decaying, produced and destroyed in an instant. They don't come from the past or go toward the future, nor they stay in the present. So the subtracting, let it go, dissolving, main agent of our cultivation. kind of a natural, the medicine would overcome our inner tendencies to grasp, to hold on, to identify with our emotions, our thoughts, material things around us. The tendencies to grasp is the cause, what we call dukkha, right? Suffering, and addressed in the second noble truth, the craving or thirst, trishna, tanha, is the cause why we are feel kind of not at home, disturbed, worry. It's interesting that Chinese translate this word tanha, what is craving, as this word ji, accumulation, collection, or gathering, or saddle. And I want to today share the one of poem of my favorite poets, Polish poets. His name is Stanisław Barańczak, the kind of genius poet, very appreciated in my country, as well as a wonderful translator. He's known as one of the best translators of William Shakespeare from English to Polish, or Emily Dickinson poetry, and many other poets. And he speaks about this theme of attachment, about kind of craving and impermanence. The title of the poem is "If Porcelain, That Only That Kind." If porcelain, that only that kind, you won't miss under the shoe of a mover or the tread of a tank. If a chair, then not too comfortable, lest there be regret in getting up and leaving. If clothing, then just so much as can fit in a suitcase. If books, then those which can be carried in the memory. If plants, then those which can be overlooked when the time comes for the next move to another street, continent, historical period or world. Who told you that you are permitted to settle in? Who told you that is or that would be last forever? Did no one ever tell you that you will never in the world feel at home in the world? Rhetorically, Mr. Barańczak asked. You can say that he's speaking to himself, or maybe speaking to us, to deeply examine what really matters in our lives. Is the material things? Is the books, views, accumulated knowledge, our plans and fantasies? Are we ready to let go? But anyway, all these things will let go us anyway, if we're not ready. And maybe it's the tone of this poem can seem same like the quote from the sutra, from the 10 grams chapter. The bodhisattva contemplate things as they are, as impermanent. It could be a bit deep, we can feel a bit depressed or kind of pessimistic. But in my sense, it's more descriptive, right? But maybe it could be a sobering. to remind us what's going on truly in this world. Remind us to that we cannot really rely on anything. Even we can, of course, appreciate our things. We can have a gratitude, but it will be time they will leave us. In the Forest Sangha, I mentioned many times about that. It's a very nice. The teachers use very nice expression when the cups is already broken. I can say the porcelain is already broken. Unexpected events can change, right? Like can be broken by the thread of the tank. We can see right now, like in Ukraine, more than 5 million people leave their country, fled their country. More than 10 million people leave their homes. And you can see that 2 months ago, probably nobody can even imagine that their lives will change so drastically. Same here when we are in the Santa Cruz Mountain. 2 years ago, more than 1,000 houses was burned by fire. So it's not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's good to be ready. It's good to prepare. And in contemplations of this impermanence, when this time will come, when the time will come to leave, if the things are leave us or so on, we don't have to feel lost. We don't have to feel grief. As the Vajra Sutra says, that all these dharmas, phenomena are impermanent, right? They're like shadows, bubbles, dreams, and so on. Contemplate them thus. So it's important, very important contemplations. And this poet says, even the world we cannot call home. You can say this home is also already broken. The Lotus Sutra mentioned about burning house or burning home, right? The burning by our desires, wanting to accumulate, dominate, control. So what we can do? We can practice subtraction. Let it go. Release the grip. And in the very simple action of dissolve our afflictions, our tendencies to possess, to identify with things, we can find a peace, contentment. And it will be time to go to another street, another continent, or another world. We are ready. We don't have to worry. We are prepared. So I stop here, and maybe as a today exercise, maybe we can everyone think, what is my relationship with the things around me? Can I let go of stuff what are not maybe necessary? Can I kind of contemplate that everything around is already broken, included this body? And what kind of reflections will bring? What kind of inner insight? Are we ready to move on? Okay, so now is the 3 steps, 1 bow practice.